In the heart of creation, amidst the splendor of the Garden of Eden, life blossomed in perfect harmony. Every corner of this earthly paradise bore the mark of divine craftsmanship. Yet, lurking within this idyllic sanctuary, a serpent, the embodiment of deception, awaited its opportunity to sow seeds of doubt and disobedience. Serpent approaches Eve, who is marveling at the beauty of the garden. Eve's expression shifts from wonder to wariness as the serpent addresses her.
Did God truly say that you must not eat from any tree in the garden?
Asked the serpent. Eve hesitates, her brow furrowing in confusion. She casts a wary glance at the forbidden tree, its fruit tantalizingly close.
We may eat from the fruit of the trees in the garden, but God said we must not eat from the tree in the middle of the garden, or even touch it, or we will die,
replied Eve. The serpent's forked tongue flicks out. As it coils around the base of the tree, its eyes fixed on Eve.
You will not surely die. For God knows that when you eat from it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil.
Eve's gaze lingers on the forbidden fruit, a mixture of curiosity and desire flickering in her eyes. Drawn by the serpent's enticing words and the promise of enlightenment, Eve succumbs to temptation, reaching out to pluck the forbidden fruit from the tree. Eve takes a tentative bite, her eyes widening in realization as forbidden knowledge floods her senses. Adam approaches, drawn by Eve's actions, and partakes of the fruit as well. In that fateful moment, the innocence of Adam and Eve is shattered, their eyes open to the complexities of good and evil, and the consequences of their disobedience. Adam and Eve hastily fashion garments, from fig leaves to cover their nakedness, shame burning in their hearts. Suddenly aware of their vulnerability, they hide among the trees of the garden, trembling before the presence of their Creator. God's voice reverberates through the garden, filled with sorrow and disappointment, as He calls out to Adam and Eve.
Where are you?
God asked Adam. Adam emerges from his hiding place, his voice quivering with fear as he responds to the Almighty.
I heard you in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, so I hid.
Adam replied. God's gaze pierces through the shadows, His voice filled with righteous judgment.
Who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten from the tree that I commanded you not to eat from?
God asked Adam. Adam points a trembling finger at Eve, shifting the blame to her. Eve, in turn, blames the serpent, setting in motion a chain of consequences. And so, the seeds of sin take root in the heart of humanity, their tendrils weaving through the fabric of creation, leaving a trail of sorrow and despair in their wake. Meanwhile, after Adam and Eve were sent out of the Garden of Eden because of the sin committed, Adam and Eve, out of their love, give birth to Cain and Abel. Cain was a farmer, while Abel was a shepherd. Cain's countenance darkens as he presents his offering, a meager handful of fruits, to the Lord. Abel's offering, a lamb from his flock, is accepted with divine favor. But when Cain's offering is rejected, consumed by fury and resentment, he succumbs to the darkness within, committing the ultimate act of betrayal. Cain stands over the lifeless body of his brother, Abel, the ground stained crimson with innocent blood. The voice of God booms from above.
What hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground. And now art thou cursed from the earth, which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shalt thou be in the earth.
And Cain said unto the Lord,
My punishment is greater than I can bear. Behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid. And I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. And it shall come to pass, that every one that findeth me shall slay me.
And the Lord said unto him, Therefore whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And the Lord set a mark upon Cain, lest any finding him should kill him. And so Cain becomes a wanderer, marked by his sin and burdened by his guilt, forever cast out from the paradise he once called home. Thus concludes the tragic tale of humanity's fall from grace, a story of temptation, betrayal, and the enduring hope for redemption in the eyes of a merciful God.